Good morning and welcome back to another episode on the Coin King channel. I am your host, Down to Crypto TA. I am getting started at 6 o'clock this morning. Just figured I'd give this time frame a try. Usually it's at 5 a.m. Um, as always, kicking things off with Bitcoin here. You can see we had a little bit of a rising wedge in here yesterday. I did end up taking a short position on this. I'm still holding that short position at the moment. I have taken partial profits from this little pivot right here. And the rest is, just trying to see if I can't catch a runner here. As far as the 4 hour is concerned, and I looked at a couple of the other higher time frames up to around about the 16-hour time frame, we are a little bit extended. I know that we were hitting some resistance up here at the highs. We did also tap into the golden pot, not the golden pot, but the 50% retracement here. And just up above here, we do have the golden pocket, which could be a place of interest if price starts to pick up a little bit more momentum today. Um, I did attempt this short position 3 times. The first time was here. The second time was here, and then the last time was on the SFP. So we did take the liquidity from what used to be a weekly level. I have to zoom out on a higher time frame, but a prior weekly pivot was also, that was an SFP. So I am, currently holding. We are getting a bounce off of the golden pocket as well as the VWAP. I actually just woke up about an hour to 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock I woke up, and then I noticed that we were getting this little bit of a bounce here. So unfortunately I can't kick us off with this long entry in here. We are going to come back up to VWAP again. I'm looking at the VWAP from the 1 hour time frame. That's what I'm referring to when I say this golden pocket VWAP. Let's see. Put you. Let's go over actually. Let's go over to the 1 hour time frame. We broke this momentum line here. And from this momentum line right here, I'm going to plot our VWAP. You can see right here, we call it VWAP right here, also golden pocket. So that's where you're seeing us get this bounce from right now. Can come back up and reject somewhere around this prior momentum line right here, around standard deviation 1 as well. Because just at the top of this here, you're going to have VWAP, and, it's going to kind of correlate with where we've been getting these highs at in here. So I'm going to put that here. Let me just change this to just give that. All right. So you can see VWAP is going to come in right here. The easiest way for me to actually look at this is to use the Bollinger Band, because you'll see standard deviation 2 is also positioned somewhere right around in here. So want to make sure that as we're getting this breakout, we're actually clearing it. So above VWAP, great. We reject here, then maybe we get a double tap into this golden pocket or something like that. Hope everybody's having a wonderful day. I'm gonna just go ahead and skim through, take a look at some of these other time frames in here I was mentioning. Take this off my chart for a sec here. Let's see. Okay. So here on the 4 hour time frame, you can see I do have the 236 and the 382 position here for a pullback. We have been moving very well again with the in standard deviation 1 and 2. If I just turn on the Bollinger Bands here, you'll see we have been moving very strongly between standard deviation 1 and 2. We start to lose 1, then I start to look down here towards the 382 as a potential area for price action to get that bounce from. Here at the low down here, you can see how with the RSI, we did end up breaking that momentum from the upside. We are going to be putting in a little bit of bullish divergence at the same time because, we've had really not a significant correction just yet. And once again, we're flagging out. So no no really identifiable pivot since we've been making this little run to the upside here. All right, so you can see we're also hitting our monthly pivot level, and this is from the line bias here. So we weren't able to get above it here, we weren't able to get above it here, and we rejected back below it here. So we'll see what today brings. If we do get to push up, I'm going to be looking. I mean, it's a couple of areas in here to take into account. So first things first is going to be the top side of what could be still be a bear flag. So I'm going to be looking up here towards this level, right towards this here, and I think that coincides with. Let's see. I'm going to take this from. Let's see, the pivot, the Fibonacci I'm looking at right now is here. All right, so possibly here with the golden pocket. And then we look for a rejection back below this or something like that. Let me just, yeah. So that's all the same in here. The top side of the potential bear flag, the golden pocket, and then of course these pivot lows just across here where we have this blue box at. So this is what we have to look forward to today. And again, I've already covered the rejection potential. We could also be looking at these highs in here on a pullback as well. So okay. I don't think we have anything new to discuss in here. Same old, same old. I'm starting to hear more and more people, regurgitate the analysis that I've been speaking on here for a little while on the channel, actually for quite a while here on the channel. But just to run back through that again, just sort of looking over here towards the 2022 situation in here where we got the breakdown here below. Turn my EMAs on. So we got the break below R60. This is what I use. So this is probably be the only thing that comes off a little bit different here. We got the break below the 60 in here. I'm sorry, the 26. Got the break below the 26 in here. I'm blah, 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 bounce from the 26. And we got the rejection here at the 382. So I'm looking for something similar to that. You can see where we have this 5 EMA and this 10 EMA is going to be sitting right here around this 382 fib retracement here as well. If we do push up if we do get past these two in here, then it actually is indicating a lot of strength because you tend to indicate more bearish or more bullish scenarios when you bounce or reject from around about the 382. 50% is going to be where you start to get into your discount zone, but at the 382, a rejection here would indicate that we do have some pretty good weakness in here. For that rejection to come down here towards this golden pocket is what I'm looking at. Things can change, and already it seems to be shifting quite a bit. So no one knows. We just have these probabilities, and that's the best we can do. All right, so we've gotten that little push out here. We'll see how we do once we come into VWAP, if we're going to see a rejection there, if we're going to continue to get that push to the upside. I went to sleep last night. I did open up a long to hedge against my short position, but that it ended up getting stopped out, and I did not set a limit order for this pivot here. I just didn't. Um, I don't want to be asleep and it doesn't hold this right. So I didn't set a limit order for it. But I set my first TP here for this. Alright, so we've gotten through our weekend pump. We've gotten through false move Monday. It's a good chance that we could continue with this push to the upside. So aside from those time frames, yeah, actually the 16. Let me jump on that, and I'm gonna come back over here to. It's a 16 hour. I'm gonna put this on that. No, actually, yeah, 16. 16 has started throwing out a signal yesterday as well, which was why I attempted that short a few times in here too. But it did fire off a signal here. I don't know if it showed up anywhere else. Okay, showing up on the 20, it's showing up. Yep. So as far as the 20 goes, not the daily time frame just yet. So, but all these other time frames basically, they have 12-hour hasn't, 8-hour did as well. Ethereum's in the flag situation as well. I'm just going to show you that Ethereum chart while I'm looking to see if we're going to get a rejection coming up here. Let me put, I'm just going to throw that VWAP back in here and see if we're going to get another rejection from that VWAP. Then I'm going to take a look at Ethereum. Good morning. Good morning. Do you think we're following the liquidity business cycle? Liquidity business cycle. I am not sure what you mean by that. I had to pause and really think, but I'm not sure what you mean by liquidity business cycle. I don't think I've ever heard the term used before. Oh, okay. You don't believe in the 4-year cycle anymore? Um, I can't say that I ever believed in a 4-year cycle. It's for me, it's just basically been the historical data. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I don't think that we're going to do anything like we did before. At least that's my opinion at the moment. that we don't go as low as we generally do, which would be the 786.886 fit retracement. I think if we come down any further than where we've gotten our bounce from, I'd be looking at the golden pocket, and then that'll be it. Just based on my indicator, it indicates that we stop out at the golden pocket, and that if we're doing anything like we did prior cycles, then something is terribly wrong. Hmm. Okay, I got you. I understand you now. I don't. Let me see if there's anything that would give me that indication of how much we will run right now. Mhm. Yeah, I don't know. For some reason, if we were putting in a high, let's just say this year, I would cap us out somewhere around 130, around 140, and I think that's pretty close to what I was looking for last year, for 2025, which was 130. So um, I don't see us doing too much more than about 140. And if we, for any reason, you know, something, I know some news comes out that just blasts us to the upside, then I'd probably look at about 170. But right now, 140 is going to be my max for now. Were you? 140, 150. Yeah. Yeah. That's what I think. No, I haven't seen Raul Paul talk about it. I actually don't watch his stuff very often. I have to it's random for me to go to Raul Paul channel. You say Ethereum 7K? Let me see what I think about that. Because Ethereum is, it struggled exactly where I thought it would this go round. So I don't know that Ethereum is actually going to use this one. Let me go 6 month, see what comes up for me. Yeah. If something crazy happens, yeah, I would agree with you on the 7K. Outside of that, I would say about 5,400. So that would be my middle ground, 5,400. Yeah. New Fed chair midterm stimulus and rate cuts. Trump will pump the economy to look good for midterms. You know, with my altcoins do well. I hope my altcoins do well too, because I tell you, certain things did pump for 2025. Um, a lot of that profit did go back into the market too, especially after we had that big liquidity sweep to October 10th. Whatever was going on with the exchange, I guess the Binance or whoever else. Yeah, altcoins kind of suck right now. A couple of things so far was getting a nice little pump. Altcoins that I've been interested in for this go round have been R. There are I got a little bit of XRP, some Chainlink. Chainlink, I think Chainlink is like at the top of my list right now um, for runners. Um, Sui, I think Sui still has some potential, and probably one that a lot of people are not into is Litecoin. I think we finally see Litecoin break that range. That multi-year range has been in. It's been a hard one though. And then of course Bitcoin and Ethereum. Undo is still a play in my bag. And I think that's about all I'm carrying right now. H bar. H bar. I do have H bar. And I think that's it. I have one other Solana ecosystem coin that I've just had for a long time that's looking like garbage right now. Um, and I can't even think of the name of it because I've had it for a while. Um, I can't think of it, but I know that there's a lot going on with Solana. But meme coins have been doing pretty good, so that's helping Solana somewhat. Somewhat. I should be stacking me some Hyperliquid. I'm just trying to be careful with getting too many altcoins right now. But my main accumulation one has been Chainlink right now. There it is, Cheeto. That's the one. Jito used to be a good player for me, and now not so much. So far, looking like we might get above this VWAP. And then I think I'm a little bit more heavy in the stock market, which did really well for me last year. So we'll see how that goes. All right, so while we're taking our sweet time right now, let's jump over here and take a look at Ethereum. So we can see Ethereum is also in the same similar situation as Bitcoin, little wedgie structure in here. We're just kind of in between Golden Pocket and the 786 at the moment for Ethereum. Previous day high is sitting just up above. As far as VWAP is concerned, I'm not sure if it was hitting. Nope, it wasn't hitting VWAP. So it must be hitting somewhere about S1 maybe. Multiplier 1. Yeah, so multiplier 1 has been the tailgate for Ethereum here. So because of that, I would probably just stick with the top and bottom side of the wedge structure instead here. Let me see what this looks like with the Bollinger. Okay. Potential expansion. So it'd be a pretty clear run if we do get through this top side, as opposed to the bottom side here. We could see some sort of a SFP if we get a move to the bottom side here. Momentum still looks pretty decent in here. So next liquidity level up here at 32.74, which is going to be in line with probably be about where that, let's see, that's 32.93. Yep. So what that 786 is, so that could be a rejection point right here for Ethereum. If it swings back up here, and let me just do it like that. Nah. Yeah, we'll just kind of watch that. This liquidity here, and then the 786. I think that could be it for this 4-hour time frame, and then we see a correction off of this. Otherwise, we just keep chopping in here. We're at our resistance point in here. Just our 3 levels that we've been using, because those are the ones that have been hitting. This one. I got this one here. 34.62, 35.73. And then a lower one in here. And this, I can see how it's probably rejecting the line bias if I did it like this. And then, let's see. Yeah. So just a little bit of reaction off the line chart. Let me see here. No way. You have a lot of memes. I do not have a, you know what? That made me think. I do have, what is Turbo? I still have Turbo, which is something I haven't looked at in forever. Certain things I just don't bother to look at. So Turbo is one. I don't have a lot of memes though. I have that one, and I think I have like a GME or something like that. I don't have a lot of meme coins though. I don't even check that stuff. I did take a position on Pump, which I consider to be a meme. It's been terrible, but I have Punky and GameStop and QB. And at this point, you can call Jupiter a meme stock. I wish I'd have did PayPay though. Without paying attention to it, I did notice it. I looked at it yesterday on stream because I'd heard something around it and hoping that it gets this pullback to about 544. And that'd be great. I probably will open up a PayPay position if I could get that. It has been holding out here um, since it fired off a sell signal yesterday. It has been holding out here. Also, taking into account this possible bear div. I think not just this one. I think who else was it? Might have been XRP that had a little bit of a bear div on it too. We haven't actually fallen back into a general range in here just yet, but I'll only be looking to long it. But we are back inside of the previous range that it was holding before. So I do like this chart right here. I'll put it on the daily so we can see it a little. Actually, I need to put it on the weekly. It's been that long. Yeah. Because it used to at least hold in this level right here. And this was where the RSI had found its bottoms before, and you can see how it came back up with that one. This would have been a good entry, man, if I'd have been here for it. I'd have pulled back into here. I'll be in here. I'll be a part of this. And then the prior range. There was something else that used to look like this too. Let me see if I can't find that one. It may have been I don't have it in here. Must not have been important. Huh. I know it wasn't Floki. No, it wasn't Floki. Which I haven't looked at in a while. Looks like there was a position in here. More than one. Yeah, all of this stuff has come back near around a range low. Some bull div. Too late. Look at XRP because I know when I looked at this one yesterday. At resistance. Just waiting on the pullback on this one. And then I see this continuing up. And this is what we were talking about it hitting yesterday. Let me fix this. You know what? I don't need. Yeah, I do want it. Yeah, I'm definitely looking for that rejection here, but maybe just to fill in this gap right here. Maybe for a value gap play. Yeah, this is definitely what I looked at yesterday. I can tell it now. This was the last thing we were looking at was this little wedgie structure in here, and then talking about it possibly getting up to here. I think this one peaked for a pullback. I'm trying to flag out again. Yeah, Pepe is a great play. If only I could have caught that one. I guess this is what I'm going to watch for on a XRP correction. And this is just a center point for the fair value gap. Just waiting on the momentum to cool off, which it looks like we're close to that happening. Just hasn't confirmed it yet. Aside from here, that signal. Mm, Who else was it? Yesterday. Silly. Let me adjust this. This looks good. All right, so that's our target. We are still pushing through this level right here on Sui. Only thing I would say about Sui is it should not come back. Um, it should not come back below this pivot high right here. It shouldn't do that. So it should respect that. If we're not respecting that, then we're invalidating the pressure that was building in here to give us this move out, because typically it hits, and when it does, it plays out fully. So that 228, which is also the top side of the weekly level, that should be the target. And so we just kind of chop around in here for a minute and start to put in some bullish divs in here. Obviously, I mean, I don't really have to focus on this as much. I think I mentioned it yesterday, and I don't have to really focus on it too much because we can still push into here and then get the correction. Yeah, I don't really see us going any further than that, than here. Maybe if we do manage to get through here, I would say 240, 243. That would be it. But yeah, we're starting to top in here though. So that correction level is 179.11 should be the max on this if it pulls back. I know the Bollinger looks pretty good, just like everything else, with the breakout and basically staying outside of the standard deviation right here. So showing a lot of strength, tundra of strength. All right, Bitcoin getting above VWAP now. We'll move this to here. Because we're bullish, I have to change this. I'm going to delete this 50. Hmm. I hope memes are coming back because if memes are coming back, then maybe Solana won't do any other things that were a probability for it. Because it got scary for a second there for Solana. I even went as far as to unlock half of my soul and TP on it. And we're still, for Solana, we're still in our um, bullish accumulation zone, or bull accumulation zone, which goes as low as 95.26, but you actually don't want to hit 95.26. So it started to get a little touch and go because we were getting below 120. Yeah, we were getting below 120. I would have attempted this short right here, but I have one open already. I don't need to do it again. It hasn't really broken anything. Really, it would just be depending on this to hold as resistance. Can tell you right now with Solana though coming back up, you know where we've been capping out at here around 145. That's where the point of control is at. I would even if we take the liquidity above this high right here, I would still be looking for some sort of a rejection right there. I don't think it's going to be that easy peasy for Solana to get through here. And if it does, I mean, good. But it is going to be a struggle just coming through this level. And that is this right here. It's 145 right here. It's the point of control. Yeah, at best, maybe it pops into this golden pocket, which is the retracement golden pocket. Maybe it pops into that for the SFP. It's a couple of dollars above that point, that wick right there, though. And then I would expect for it to come back and back test the trend line that it did not hold so well when we started to break below the 786. And that was our 200 EMA. I had that for a sec. Yeah, that was our 200. So, yeah, I would expect for it to reject right across there, right across that 145. Even if it wicks through, I would look for it to retrace back below that point and then back test this trend line again. All right, I can actually move this here now. I gotta shut this down. I have the biggest problems with breakout. Their terminal. I like breakout as a whole, but their terminal sucks. Then I just had a notification pop up telling me to fix it because it's slowing down my PC. Breakout. Their terminal really sucks. I hate to close it because I'm. Mm. Gold had a little bit of a breakdown from a rising wedge, which I don't know, it's still holding. Maybe it's a back test and then a continuation. It looks like we're seeing a little bit of a rejection here on gold. Let me show you the gold chart while I'm waiting on Bitcoin to do something. But right here, you can see we had this little rising structure in here on gold. You can see the point at which it does start to break. I mean, you can look at the chart itself and see where we got the breakdown right here and just a little bit of a confirmation right here. You can see we're starting to reject this point right now. So this could be it on the back test. And let me see if anything lines up with that. Yeah, golden pocket. So golden pocket is in line with that. So that could be a rejection to get the continued move down. If we do get that, I'll be looking right here about 30, 43, 43, 48. I'll be looking right here for gold. A gold retracement. Possible entry there. We were holding this first one right here. So hopefully we don't continue to hold that if this is the rejection. Um, we break through here. We break through here, then I'll be looking right here. I'll be looking about 45.34 to the previous week high for gold. So woe to the people who were shorting it. Okay. Might work. We took it from where it is now, which I don't know because it was holding here. Kind of difficult. I'm gonna put this on current price. I'm not gonna give it as much for now, but I do think that this could be the target here. I would say leave it as a runner if it works, but this is throwing me off. And check back on that. Silver. A little wedgie structure going on with silver too, but silver actually hasn't broken down from it. So maybe one more rejection around about here, if it can get up there. Yeah. Right now, you can see where the lows have been coming in on it. Somewhere closer to this point. I tried to do this indicator where I could see the peak, but I can't. I think I like to see this double top. Can't say I get it. But if I was taking one, I like to see this double top. So I would do it like that. Where did I have this one at the last time? I'm gonna give it a 1. That's a little bit too much. I want to give it a 1%, something like that. And again, this last one did not. I'm gonna have to close out this thing. Last one did not. Was I looking for an entry here? I must have been looking for an entry right there. Hold on, something is off. I must have been looking for an entry here. I think I was. Yeah. But if gold doesn't see a top right in here, it'll probably come from here. Yeah, Bitcoin's still trying to make its way up to that golden pocket. Let me just go ahead and push through here and take a look at some of the other situations we got in here. Okay, we got Nvidia. Nvidia hitting one of our resistance levels along with VWAP in here. We've been kind of stuck just right in here. This is where we've been stuck at sideways. If we do start to break down from this sideways price action, then I can start to entertain these two levels down here, 183 and 182 right here. But since we're stuck in here to the upside, I'm looking as far as where I have this resistance level right here and then right here at 190. But this has just been our sideways range right here. I'm really looking to take I think a long is what I'm looking for on NVIDIA. I have to wait for market open, but that probably wouldn't be a bad. Why is everything rising? Hmm. We have to get out of the middle of the range. So I either be looking to short from up here, which I'm not looking for a short. I actually want a long. Or if we're going to stay in this range, yeah, just back to the bottom here. Probably do. I really want to get a 3 to 1. Or a 3 to something. And I'd be looking for it to, if it's going to break it first, I wouldn't do a limit order. Let's see how it would go first if we get this right here. Otherwise, this might be a short right in here. All right, looks like we're getting that momentum shift on Bitcoin here. It's about to confirm right below VWAP. Hasn't confirmed yet, but I'm looking forward to. It's saying not right now. Maybe it gets into this golden pocket. Looks like we, all right, it's forcing me to close out this tab. Then I have to reopen it later. All right, here we SFP. All right, so no confirmation yet. So Amazon is in a let me see, it's a good time frame. You can see this little wedge. Amazon is in a little bit of a wedgie structure. I can adjust this. It looks awful from here. A little wedgie structure in here. It's easier to play the high and the low with this situation right here, at least until it breaks. And if it breaks, then just reverse your idea. Let me see. You have a better chance of taking, I mean, the long would be good on this, but you would have to wait on it. So either you want to play the breakout or you want to allow it to come back and then take the entry on it, which this is so much better, closer to a place at which price action would actually bounce. Still a slight bear div, so I would be looking for it to come back down, and then that could again be a long entry on it. Just playing the low of the range, back up towards the high, and then if it eventually breaks up, then you would have a runner. But I probably look for it to come back down into here. Um, there is also this lower trend line here. I'll put it on 24. This trend line across here. Hmm. Still playing the Pico top. Definitely would rather get it down here than to make an attempt up here at the Pico top. And I know that I was still waiting on a long position on this, which I don't think we ever came down low enough for my long. We haven't yet. Eventually we shall. I posted on this one when we got down here to this trend line right here. It's a good place to buy it. A little bit of a bear div. Um, but I still think that, I mean, we've already gotten the bounce, and I'm not looking for it to come back up here to the highs personally. I was just looking for a little bit of a relief bounce on Tesla, and ultimately, I do think that you get it somewhere down below here. more so towards this line down here, but around, let's say about 315. Say Tesla comes back down towards that level. Tesla's a really hard one. It's really hard to say that too with all of that, but yeah. The reason why I said this was a good place to buy is because of fear. I could see it in the chart from this point right here where the gap was sitting at here for Tesla. Um, Divergence started to build up through here. And let me see, I know I don't have it in here. I don't have it in here. But right here, you can see where fear hit right through here. I was like, you know what? This is where you need to get in. And it started from, I was saying from the gap. That's what I would say. Because for a minute there, it looked like we could get that little bounce right there, and we didn't. But right here is where the fear hit. Right here is where fear hit. But eventually, I would say that it gets down to about 315. So I am looking for bounce and then continuation. Netflix, I've covered a few times here. Let me just hide that. Rejecting off of that pivot low right now. I'll push out here. What did I say? We do about a 76 or something like that. That puts us I mean, that puts us down here. I know that Netflix obviously is a good buy. I wouldn't buy it right here though, is what I said. I just wouldn't buy. I mean, initially, it was a buy, but after winning that bid, I'd let it retrace down into here. I really think that it comes down into here. I got some notes in here somewhere, but I maybe. It's just a 32. This is more common. I don't think Netflix is back to this situation, but they did just spend a lot of money, so that's the reason why I'm looking at that. But it's actually might be coming down towards the piccolo. Let's see. If we reclaim above here, then yeah, if we reclaim above here, then it's a go. Otherwise, I am still looking for it to drop down. I could have sworn I had something else in here that I did off of for the metrics in here. I'm not seeing it. I'm just not seeing it. That's gonna bother me. Yeah, it's gonna bother me. Either okay, so we did finally break that momentum here. I think I'm gonna take. Oh dang! I was gonna say I was gonna take a stab here on Bitcoin on this other account, but I had to close that thing out. Let me see. See if I can get back into it fast enough. I'll take a. See if I want to take a chance right here. This is going to be a really tight stop just above the high here for me. Just above it. On Bitcoin. So I'm probably going to drop this one pretty fast too. Yeah, I end up dropping it pretty quick. So I don't have an actual target in here. Slightly in profit. While I'm waiting on that, yeah, if Netflix comes back up here first, before, if you could see where that 20 SMA was at when I was looking at it, 120, which is at 87. If it comes back up this level right here, then I might entertain netting, but right now it's below it. Haven't lost it. A recovery would be strong though. This Apple. Apple's kind of scaring the bejesus out of me right now. 24 hour. This has just been the range in here for Apple thus far. I really needed for Apple to hold this level right here, and it looks like we're not managing to do that. We're starting to lose this level right here. I would start to look down here towards 261, and then below 261 is going to be 258. But one of these two levels right here is what I'll be looking for, unless we reclaim this when market opens. We reclaim this when market opens, good. I can start back looking at this right here, the VWAP. But yeah, I can't tell how authentic this move is right now. We really want to hold this. All right, so we're back on gold. All right, Bitcoin just stalled out on me, which means this may not be a good idea. That's a stalling on this VWAP. And that rejection point up here, that's also I took it away. I'll show you what that rejection is. It's right here. Still holding. Still holding. I think Walmart is a good short. Walmart stock, options trade. It'll probably do about a 27%, or we'll just say 20 to be safe. 20% correction. Well, for that, I think it was the monthly high. I think that monthly Walmart. Yeah, Walmart makes me feel some kind of way. Come on, Bitcoin. My stop is it is just like really just above this high by like a penny or something. So it's super tight. It's a super tight stop loss. Hoping this tweezer top don't fail me. Oh, you know what? The other thing is here on Bitcoin price action, I didn't show you here on the 4 hour time frame. We're hitting the 400 EMA. So if I turn this on, it doesn't have to really mean anything. Oh, I can't use that one. You can see right here. And it just depends on what exchange you're looking at it from. From Blowfin's exchange, it's up a little bit higher than this right here. But you can see how we have now the 5 is making some sort of a cross above this 400. Um, but whatever move we're getting here, it would, of course, it's going to send it back down. I'm not saying all the way back down here for this liquidity, which is really pretty liquidity. I think we're in a strong place for Bitcoin. Right now, I'm just looking at this much. Keep holding. And another reason why my stop loss is so tight too is because if I need to attempt it again, then I'm not risking much. Yesterday's felt breakdown worked out really good, but it happened so fast too. It was this over here. And what I said was, in this in this case over here, the best bet was going to be a failed breakdown and a bounce off of the fib level. So it was like this. Let's see. It was like this, and I'm sorry, I'm a little bit OCD. All right, so it was like this little wedge structure in here, and it started to get the push up, and then it came back down. So it started to break out, and then it came back down. And when it came back down, I said the best bet is going to be to get a failed swing, failed breakdown right here into that 50 because uh, of the environment being so bullish that that had been where market had been capping out at right there. So if I do so right here, did that? Actually, it was the 382. Yeah, it was the 382. My bad. I said the 50, but it was the 382 because it had been capping out. I didn't need to add that. I could have just stuck with the two bullish ones between a 236 and a 50. That's been the max retracement in most cases has been the 236 and the 382 since we started this rally to the upside or relief bounce to the upside. That's as much as we've been doing. This is one of the exceptions right here because I think the higher time frames might be ready to give a little bit more. If it doesn't, then we get to the golden pocket then. But very seldomly have we done, and we bear div so much through here. I can understand us getting that 618 tap right here. That was the same situation that happened a little bit lower down. We started diverging so much that we ended up getting a bigger correction down into the two to the just the 618. It didn't even, yeah, it tapped it exactly like it tapped it right here. Didn't push in anymore, like just perfect tap off of it and go is what it did. And I think it was, yeah, it was this situation. I think it was this one right here. It was this one. Yeah. Because we started bear diving up through there. So when we did get it, like we just tapped it. You can see no closure below it. We just tapped it the same way because of all the bear divs through. You see the bear div through there. Just like up here, you can see the bear divs through here. So that gave us a little bit of a bigger push down beyond the scope of the 382. Like you've really been lucky at times to even get it at premium. So everybody who's going long, you're I meant discount. You've been really lucky if you got it at discount. But everybody who's been going long off of these points have been buying it at a premium price. Even off of the higher time frame, you're getting it at a premium price. Even off the higher, and I do still have a long position open on Bitcoin from around 85,000, I believe. I believe. Um, haven't really looked back at it. That's when I know I'm comfortable with a trade. If I don't have to look back at it, I'm comfortable with it. Yeah, around 85,000 is where I got in on this one. Um, actually felt like I lost my mojo for a minute there yesterday for some reason. And every now and then I just feel like that. Every now and then I feel like, dang, I'm taking a hit after a hit. And yeah, so I still have I still have that long open. And then my current short position, which I'm probably going to close this out and be grateful. And I'm telling you, I didn't see. I was waiting on when I entered the short on this right here. I was waiting for price action to hit me on a 1-to-1, and when it happened, I wasn't paying attention, and it was this candle right here because I was supposed to take half profit out right there, and then let if it came back up and took out this high right here, then I just walk away, break even. I wouldn't take a loss, but instead I missed that, and then I get in my own way sometimes where it's like, okay, I didn't get a chance to get that 1-to-1. I'm not taking anything. I'm not taking anything out of the trade, even if I could see it starting to potentially go against me. And so I took an L right there on that. And then I re-entered it again here, like, oh, okay, bear div right here. So I re-entered it there. And it can be a hard decision to make after you've taken a loss. Do I want to try it again? And so it bear dived right here. And I was like, great. And then we started to come down and then we started to hold. And like we're holding right now. So I'm not going to be scared to try it again. I just reassess the situation. I'll try it again. But this one did hit my 1-to-1 because I think I kept the low modest. I kept what the TP was going to be at, rather modest. So once it hit it, I did manage to take out half on that, and then I set the rest of it for where my entry was. So I was okay on that one right there. And then this push right here started to happen. I see the SFP here and I see the 50% retracement up there. So it's like, what do? I actually ended up taking it from here instead of letting it get up here to the 50% retracement and the weekly level. I could see both of those up here, but I just figured, okay, it's okay if it goes against me a little bit. I think we've topped. I don't want to try it again past that point. So I do still have that one open. It's still I've taken some profit off of it once. And the crazy thing is, I was watching someone else's YouTube channel later on that day, and they was like, "Yeah, I took the SFP from up here," and I started to. I was like, "Yeah, I could have waited. I could have waited. I just chose not to." Even though I could see that 50 coming into play and I could see that weekly level that I had in here coming into play. But I was like, nah, I'm just gonna do this right here. I'm just gonna do this right here. And I'm fine if it comes up here and it takes that little bit because I don't think we're gonna go too much further with this rising wedge. Now sometimes a rising wedge can break to the upside, and that would have been my downfall. I think I would have killed it from there. I wouldn't have tried it again at that point because at that point I would be in my mind thinking, okay, well, it's just going to come up here to this golden pocket region, which I mean, just didn't seem likely that that was going to happen right away yesterday, um, given given some stuff that I was seeing from like the 4 hour and up to the 16 hour. And I'm still a little bit, I don't even know why I would have disbelief because I've talked about this. I even tweeted on it about, you know, my thoughts on what price action was getting ready to do, and everything is lining up with that. But sometimes, I don't know, I just want to buck my own analysis sometimes. Yeah, so I started to have a little bit of disbelief, but I do understand when the environment is bullish and when it's not, per se. All right, 8 o'clock. I think we do have some information coming out this morning. Let me, I thought I hit something wrong. I just need to refresh that. Okay, so that was yesterday with the ISM. Today, January 6th, tentative. Okay, so we don't have anything today, really. Trump is going to speak at 2 p.m. Ooh-wee. That might move some markets because I already know where his speech is going to start to go sideways, maybe. Let's see what he's supposed to be talking about. Let me see if anything comes up in here. And speaking of policy at the White House in Washington, D.C. Doesn't really say too much about it. Be a few full details for the speech. I didn't really get anything from that, did you? Tell you the truth, I did it. So anyway, he's going to be speaking at 2. We do get final services PMI. Not going to be a big burger. Just this speech is supposed to have a medium impact. They need to start making this folder red. And then Wednesday, of course, we have Jolts ISM. It's going to be at 10. Non-farm at 8:15. All right. I don't know if it's this chart that's lagging behind or if it's Blowfin that's lying. One of the two is off. I got a green candle here on Blowfin and I got this little red candle here on Binance chart, and they're not the same. Mm. Okay, so this is moving way faster than price action, which means that this short position is probably it has has strong potential of failing. Um, but again, a rather tight stop loss has been set right here on this thing, and I'll reassess. Maybe it makes its way here into the golden pocket. If it does that, I really don't know if I want to short then. I think I might want to long after that on a pullback. One thing that's been infamous with is putting in these inverse head and shoulders every single freaking time it puts in an inverse head and shoulder. So if it comes back down, then let's just say here, I'm not looking for too much right now. Eventually, I want to see that 4 hour play out. And I want to, yeah, eventually I want to see that 4 hour play out and give us a bigger pullback. But in the meantime, you can see inverse. Like it has been infamously been putting in these inverse infamously. I don't really like that, so I wouldn't call that anything. inverse. Let's just go ahead and highlight this level. And by highlight, I did highlight. I think this was at one point, it was the standard one at one point. Um, Come on and be nice, Betty. Be nice. It is the RSI is moving much faster. So the entry was based, as you can see, off of this momentum shift right here. One little toppy candle, and then the next one became toppy. But it's moving quite slow. I'm gonna move this now. Really don't set it on top of that pivot right there. We got like a 57. It can start to bounce back up around about a 50. It might do that around about 50. All right. Let's give me a little bit more. It's two failed long. Well, it was a long entry that didn't make it past that VWAP right there. Then of course it fired off another one right over here, which I don't expect for. But obviously, I'm looking for a short, so I didn't expect for this to play out. It still can though. Um, this was just prior to me coming on stream that I spotted this right here, but the obvious place to take it would have been somewhere down here, around about this golden pocket. Yeah. Well, at least you know what to watch for. If it starts going too slow, and this is going way fast, then it's likely not going to pan out. I'm going to look back at this situation in here, possibly in here, but I don't know. I don't know. Mhm. You just look back over here at Ethereum and see how Ethereum is doing since we last looked at Ethereum here. So the rejection was holding pretty fine in here. We was looking at the rejection point from here, from this pivot right here. So that rejection is holding pretty good. Entry would have likely been this pivot right here, but I set it on this because I didn't look back at it to see that it got a little small push back up here towards resistance wall in here. But this can always still break out. It's holding support in here as we can see. So it is holding support right about in here. Now, if MACD does start to roll down, that'll be another thing. We could see a little bit more of a pull of a correction down here, um, being this would break to the downside instead of up. But nothing just yet. We're just hovering around a zero line right now with the MACD here for Ethereum. And when I last looked at the VWAP situation, it really didn't give me much in here. It's a bit different than Bitcoin, I would say. But this is and let me turn on the two as well. All right. So yeah, this has been the range. This has been the range. So let me extend this out just a little bit more in here, and this the same. It's quite annoying. Quite annoying. But that's what we got here for Ethereum. I don't think I have the MACD. No, I didn't. I didn't have it right there. I have it right here. So MACD is slightly below the zero line right here. It is slightly below the zero. Well, the delta is slightly below the zero line. The MACD is not. Delta's leading. Um, where is a validation? Likely, if the MACD crosses below this delta, it'll be a validation. But right now, nothing. Nothing but holding. Nothing but holding. Mm-mm-mm. Come on, Bitcoin. Come on down. Come on down. No, no, no. Not back up. All right. So, in about 15 minutes here, I will be departing. I'd like to say thank you for joining me today. I actually like the 6 o'clock start time. It gives me a little bit of time to work on some things since I'm typically up like just 1 hour before I start streaming. And so, yeah, 4 to 6 gives me a little bit of time to kind of work some things out and get into the charts. So I think for now, I will start doing that. I honestly, I haven't narrowed down what that new time will be, but for now, I'm gonna say 6 o'clock to you, um, just to allow me some time to get some charts together, work on a couple of things. It had really just been a bomber with getting like very little volatility early in the morning. So. And again, I did open that short position on this right here. Very slow. So can fail. Tight loss is very, very, very tight. It's like less than $1 off from this high. Less than $1 off from this high. It is that tight. So if we get it, we get at least down into here. If we just tap into here, I'm probably gonna close that out and then I'll look for the next entry. And again, we are hitting some pretty good resistance in here for Bitcoin. We actually got our rejection here from the 50% retracement. That is where this is, the 50% retracement, and also with the very light sweep of the liquidity, which was also sitting there. That weekly liquidity was also sitting there at that pivot. If for some reason markets decided they want to go higher, I would look to the golden pocket, which is further up here around 97, 98,000. Then there's a lot more resistance in here as well. But there are some things from 4 hour up that suggests that we cool off a little bit before we continue that rally to the upside. Now to the downside, what I am watching is this 4 hour time frame in here. So if we get a pull down in here, I'm looking for us to hold about this 382 right here. First of all, we do have to start to lose this right here. So you can see how we come down, we hold, we come down, we hold, we come down, we hold, we come down, we hold. Once we lose this right here, start to look at your 20 SMA. 20 SMA is close to where we have this 382 at. So a 382 bounce will be great. Now, if we 382 come back up here and then we start to reject up here, wherever this is at the moment, okay, you can just turn on your Bollinger. If you don't have one that gives you like your standard deviation one as well, then just put two on. Okay, just put two Bollingers on here because you tend to. What you want to know is that you tend to get stuck here inside of a pocket. Now you can do the same thing using VWAP, but you have to make sure you anchor it properly because if you don't anchor it properly, then you won't get it. Okay, so you won't get what those intricate levels of support might be coming in at. But yeah, 91 is what I'll be looking for on a retracement back down. 382 retracement right here. For now, we're still holding. If I'm looking at this with EMAs, let's see what we're tapping. All right, so I'm not really tapping this right here. I guess it just depends on what chart you're using. Um, mm, Oh boy. This has been one of the slowest moves ever. Slowest moves ever. We've been working on this right now. Let's see, this peaked out right here. 1 hour. 1 hour. In 1 hour, we've moved 0.26%. I mean, yeah, 0.26% down. Like, that's all we've moved. Dang. If they wanted to bore me out of a position, they might have been successful with this one. They've definitely bored me out of it. Definitely bored me out of it. Yeah, the way we keep wicking and keep holding and going slow is gonna go. Ugh. You have your golden pocket 786 right in here, so do check that out if we can't finish getting this move down, because this is wearing me out. Absolutely wearing me out. Yeah. Somebody wants this to work. Yeah, I think that we just broke back to the upside on this, just based on this candle alone. I mean, the first one with that wick, and now this one with this wick. I think that we coming into here now. I like the bottom and tail, or the potential for this bottom and tail in here. I'm not touching it for a long setup. I mean, the long would have been GP, or even right here for me. That would have been the long. This candle right here. It would have either been you risking it for the biscuit right here, or you waiting for this candle right here to close and taking it like that. And then setting the stop loss below that. And then 3-1 would have got you into this golden pocket. But I honestly was just looking for a breakout fail on this. Just like we got a breakdown fail over here I'm leaning a little bit more bearish in the temporary. In the short term, I'm leaning a little bit more bearish here in the short term, but otherwise, I'm bullish. I just think that we're due some sort of a correction off of that 4 hour. Even if it wants to do another swing to the upside and put in like a bear div, I still think that we're topping for a 4 hour correction. Which is why I'm in a short, not the brand new. I'm in this brand new short, but why I'm in the short from this top right here. And also, if the market decides it wants to get nasty, that first momentum trend line that we had, that's right here around where the previous day low. Did I update this? I don't even know if I updated this. $91.50. Yeah, that is. I did update it. Just wanted to be sure. Yeah, this first momentum right here, if they decide they want to get nasty, maybe they like that. Maybe they turn this into a head and shoulder. Maybe. The only other thing I could think of actually would be like the 50% retracement, which is going to be back testing this high in here where we kept finding resistance at. That would be ideal to come back into here and to back test this because we were rejecting off of this. So back testing to see if it's support. Make that red. All right. Take a look back. We're really just hitting the same spot repeatedly. It's a little better, but we basically just been hitting that same spot. Holding and holding and holding right here. Trading takes a lot of patience, and I tell you the truth, sometimes I don't have it. Sometimes I don't have it. Let's see if it's gonna hold this 50%, because that's where we're at. We're at a 50. You can't see it from here because I have this set for a 7 as opposed to a 14. I can change that real quick so you can see 14. Then you can see we're at a 50. You can read it up here, but you can see it now that we're at a 50. But I have it on my 15-minute time frame. I have me set for a 7 as opposed to the 14, which is standard. You see, 50 has been about as much as the price action had been doing um, in relation to RSI. So that's been about as much as it's been given. Uh, mhm, mhm. It may. It may decide it likes this. Yeah, so if you were just for the sake of conversation too. So like if I was on a well, we're on a 15-minute, and I'll show you what I mean by this being as low as things have been getting. Um, I'm just gonna throw that in here. And you can see that when a bounce happened, it happened from right here. So this has been the average low on the RSI. So it gets here, and then we'll drop this one for a sec so we can focus on this one. So it gets here, and then it gives a bounce. Now, I haven't managed to code this in a way where um, the there's top in here for it, which is why I reset my RSI on this 15-minute time frame for the sake of just trading to a 7 here on this 15-minute. And then you can see here, it gets here. Now, if it breaks it, I look for it to reclaim. That's it. I look for it to reclaim my weight, because if it breaks it, then that's where you'll probably get this. You'll probably get this 618 retracement. And then I wait for it to to want to come back up unless there's something else in here that I can go off of. Like in this case, it was VWAP here at the Golden Pocket. Golden Pocket and VWAP together, make a great team. But over here, you can see we get into this low just in here, and then we go up, we get into the low, just in here we go up, we get into the low, just in here, and we're going up. And here you can see it broke it ever so slightly. This was the point where we hit the 618. So when it broke it, we hit the 618. Otherwise, we're holding, and then we're looking for it to go up. And so we're just, and I can go on and on and on. At some point that will change. The way I have it set up is to show me like, hey, the past, no, 672, I think is what I standardize it for, 672. And so we're here now. So either we're gonna hold in here as it's moving super duper duper slow, super duper slow. And when I compared it to, really didn't have a comparison there. Not the way I have this set too. And then the other thing about this right here too is none of the settings in here is set for the standard RSI either. With the exception, no, none of it is. None of it is. You can do this without this indicator. Oh, no, you can't. No, you can't. Anyway, I just figured I'd share that. So we'll see how this is going to go. If this is going to be your typical hold zone right here. So right now, I'm not looking for too much on this pull down. If it gives it, it gives it. On the high, on the 4 hour now, I'm definitely looking up for that 4 hour. But for this new short entry that I took here off of this candle close right here, I'm gonna sell this. I'm gonna get out of this position. So I'm not gonna hold this one right here, not as slow as it's going on. If it started to do some impulsive like some big body candles in here, I'll take half profit, and then I'll leave my stop loss there, and see if I can catch a runner on it. But otherwise, if it continues like this, then we're just going to close out the entire trade and be done with it, because we could pop back up, could put in the inverse right here, because we've been infamously doing that again, infamously putting in these inverse head and shoulders before we continue to move to the upside. So that's that. And even if you go with like a 7 on your RSI, you can pretty much kind of like come close on that. So just change your RSI to a 7, and then the rest of it, it'll take care of itself. Let's see. Okay, a little bit more in profit here on this new short. Now I will go for a new long on a double bottom back here into this golden pocket, since this happened when most people were not awake. If it were to do something like that, I would entertain a new long right here, but I just don't know that that's going to happen, and that this could be it. This could be it if it gets here. If it gets here. Mm. All right. So I will see you. Since I like 6, I actually see you in the morning. See you in the morning at 6, 2 hour stream at max for me. I'm about 40 minutes over on this one right here. But thank you. I am down to Crypto TA. This is the Coin Kings channel that I stream on. Um, I partner with him to bring you this live content every day. It usually I'm not here on Wednesdays, but tomorrow I will be here. I can respect the time. So tomorrow I'll be here, and I'll see you at 6 o'clock in the morning. You got what I'm looking for here for Bitcoin, and let me check this right here. Yeah, you got what I'm looking for on Bitcoin. Gold, if it gives it, it gives it. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I'm not in this gold position. I can't even, well, I can actually take a trade on it, but I didn't. So gold is doing gold stuff. Right now it's holding this previous day high. Can't guarantee that this plays out right here. Once market opens, it can do anything. And again, if it pushes up here to the upside, I will look for it to top out somewhere around this uh, 45, 45 to 45.50. So somewhere in that zone right there is what I'd be looking for on the upside. And again, here to the downside, I do think that this right here could be potentially possible. But in the meantime, I would just look down here to this wick right here, and that's it. Nothing more than that. So stop loss, not too bad. It's a 0.37. Yeah, so stop loss is not too bad on this position right here. If it goes, the one for silver, I'm looking for silver. I would like to see a double top play on silver, as opposed to what I've already, where it is right now. I'd like to see a double top in here. So if it does that, then that'd be a good short. I wouldn't look for any more than possibly coming back down here towards the VWAP. You can always cut it early, somewhere around like where the standard deviation one is at right here as well. But no breakdown from this rising channel here for silver, which is why I'm also not looking to take the short from within the midpoint of this range. So just waiting on that. And if it pops up through here instead of rejecting, then I would look up here towards the $80 range right here for silver for pullback, for breakdown. Okay. Because it could relatively stay in here, coming back and forth in here until it just gets so tight that it can't do that anymore. But somewhere around here, around the top side of this range is what I'll be looking at here for silver. And that's going to do it for me. Again, I'm Down to Crypto TA. You can follow me on X at Down to Crypto TA. You can also follow the Coin King at the Coin King, and that's DACOINKING. I'm also on CMC, but I have not been posting anything there recently. But if something good enough comes up, then I'll speak out, whether it's in the crypto space or whether it's in the stock market. I will be taking a look at some crude oil stuff like that later here today. So I can have something for you tomorrow. But outside of that, that's gonna do it for me.